The sky was silent that night. No stars, no wind. Just an empty road and a quiet forest around it. Then something happened. A flash of blue light appeared high above the trees. It was fast, too fast to be a shooting star. It came down like a falling arrow and disappeared into the forest without a sound. No crash, no fire, just silence again. But something, or someone, had landed in the deep woods. The air shimmered like heat waves. A strange round object, smooth and silver, stood hidden between the trees. It looked like a giant glass egg, glowing from inside. The surface melted open with a soft hiss, and a girl stepped out. She looked human. Long black hair, pale skin, tall and graceful. But her eyes were glowing purple. Her name was Zara. She took a deep breath, feeling Earth's air for the first time. She looked up at the sky and whispered something in her alien language. Then she reached into the ship, pulled out a small crystal device, and pressed it to her chest. It blinked once, then turned black. She had cut contact with her world. She was here alone now. Zara walked through the trees barefoot, her skin almost floating above the ground. Her body adjusted quickly. Heart rate, oxygen levels, temperature, all monitored by the implant in her neck. She passed a rabbit without scaring it. Birds didn't fly away. Even nature wasn't sure what she was. She stepped out of the woods near a small town. Streetlights flickered above her. A bus passed. No one noticed her yet, Zara whispered to herself. Phase 1 complete. Zara was not a normal alien. She came from a planet far from Earth, a place where her kind lived without emotions. They had no anger, no love, no fear, only logic. They believed they were perfect. But over time, they started to break. Their minds became cold. Their bodies grew weak. They discovered something. Humans had something they didn't. A soul. A living energy that gave them strength, emotion, and meaning. Something that couldn't be built or cloned. So her people came up with a theory. If one of us gives birth to a human child, maybe the soul can be shared, Zara volunteered. She was created in a lab, made to look human. Her mission, go to Earth, find a healthy male, create a child, and return home with the first alien-born soul. But she had her own secret hope, to feel, to laugh, to cry, to live. She stole clothes from a donation bin behind a store, a plain shirt and jeans. She studied people from a distance, how they talked, how they moved, how they smiled. She noticed something strange. Humans touched each other. They hugged, they laughed. They cried over small things. They loved easily and forgave fast. These things confused her, but also made her curious. If I do this, she thought, will I become like them? Zara used her tech to hack into a local database. She found a list of men in the area. She didn't want someone strong or rich. She wanted someone good, someone kind, someone with a strong soul. And then she saw him. Alex Walker, age 28, works at a small bookstore, lives alone, volunteers at an animal shelter, no family, no criminal record, quiet life. Zara stared at his photo for a long time. He had soft eyes, a small smile. He will do, she said. But as she kept watching his life from a distance, through cameras, drones, and even in person, something strange began to happen. Zara began to feel, not much, just tiny sparks. She felt warm watching him feed a stray dog. She felt nervous when he almost saw her in the mirror. She felt sad when he sat alone at the cafe, reading quietly with no one around, and she didn't understand why. One night, while standing across the street, watching Alex close his bookstore, something happened. He looked directly at her, just looked. He saw her. She turned away quickly, heart racing. That had never happened before. Did he recognize me? She whispered. She disappeared into the alley, but Alex kept staring at the place where she stood. I've seen her before. He muttered to himself. Back in her small hidden base in the woods, Zara stood in front of a mirror. She touched her own cheek, felt the skin, watched her eyes glow faintly. I am changing, she said. She looked at her datapad. Alex's profile was still open. He will help me, even if he doesn't know it yet. Asterisk, the sun rose over the small town of Havenbrook, painting the streets with golden light. Everything looked peaceful. Children walked to school. Cars moved slowly. Birds sang from the trees. But Zara was not looking at the beauty of the town. She was looking at him. From a rooftop across the street, hidden behind shadows, Zara watched Alex Walker. He stood in front of his small bookstore, opening the gate, whistling a soft tune. He wore the same brown jacket every day, with a pen tucked behind his ear. He smiled at the old woman passing by, helped a young boy tie his shoelaces, and let a stray cat sneak into his store. Zara tilted her head. He is different. She had watched dozens of men in the past few weeks. Some were loud. Some were angry. Some were kind, but fake. But Alex was steady, soft, and strange. He didn't talk much. He didn't party. He didn't chase anyone. He just existed quietly, like a warm light in a dark room. Zara blinked slowly. He has a soul, a strong one. Her mission was clear. Bond with him, create a child, and return home. But as she kept watching, questions started to grow inside her. What makes a soul strong? Why does kindness feel heavy to watch? Why does she feel something when he smiles? She followed Alex from a distance. To the grocery store, to the cafe, to the shelter where he played with injured dogs and fed abandoned cats. Every time he left a trail of kindness behind. Once, Zara watched a boy fall from his bike in the park. Others laughed. Alex didn't. He ran, picked the boy up, cleaned his scraped knee with a tissue, and said, "You're strong. You'll be okay." The boy smiled and rode off again. Zara stood behind a tree, eyes fixed on Alex's back. What is this feeling? She whispered. Her fingers touched her chest. A small, strange warmth had started growing inside. One night, Zara entered his bookstore quietly. She waited until it was almost closing time. The place was small, filled with old books and the smell of paper. A soft jazz tune played in the background. Alex was behind the counter reading. Zara walked up slowly. "Excuse me," she said. He looked up and froze for a second. His eyes locked with hers. Zara felt it again, that warmth. But this time, it spread through her arms. Alex smiled gently. "Hey, haven't seen you before." Zara forced a soft smile. "I just moved here." "Welcome," he said. "You like books?" "I'm still learning," she said carefully. Alex raised an eyebrow but didn't judge. "Then you've come to the right place." He reached for a small paperback and handed it to her. A Wrinkle in Time. "Try this one," he said. "It's about other worlds. Feels like magic, but it's science." Zara stared at the book. Other worlds, magic, science. "Thank you," she said. Alex nodded. "If you need anything, I'm usually here. Name's Alex." She hesitated, then replied, "I'm Zara." That night, back in her hidden base in the woods, Zara replayed the moment again and again. His smile, his voice, his kindness. She hadn't told her people yet. She had disconnected her communicator. She knew they would not understand. They didn't believe in real connection, only results. But Zara didn't want to just use Alex. She wanted to understand him. To feel like he did. Maybe that was the true path to gaining a soul. However, someone else had also noticed Zara. Across town, in a dark government office, Agent Harper stared at a screen showing a grainy photo. It was taken from traffic camera footage. A girl with strange eyes walking alone at night. No ID, no record, no family. And something else. No heat signature. She wasn't human. Harper leaned closer to the screen. "We found her," he said. The alien girl. A team was sent to investigate. Silent. Armed. Trained. And they weren't the only ones. Back in Havenbrook, Alex started feeling strange. He felt. Watched. At first, he thought it was nothing. But he saw her again. Twice. Once in the coffee shop, once near the bookstore. Always quiet, always alone. Her eyes were soft but not normal. Something about her wasn't right. She didn't blink much. She moved too smoothly. She stared too long. But still, he felt no fear, only curiosity. Who is she? He wondered. The next day, as he was locking the store, he turned and saw her again, across the road. She didn't run this time. She stood still, watching him. Their eyes met. Alex stepped toward her. Zara's heart, if it could be called that, raced. He walked up slowly. Calm, open hands. I've seen you before, he said. You following me? She didn't answer. You're not from here, are you? He asked. Zara looked down. No, I'm not. Alex gave a small smile. That's okay, he said. Everyone comes from somewhere. Then he walked away. Zara stood frozen for a full minute. He didn't ask more. He didn't demand. He didn't fear her. He accepted her, not knowing what she was, not knowing why she was here, and that made him dangerous, but also special. Zara returned to her base, opened a new file on her datapad, and typed, target selected, Alex Walker connection, active complication, emotional response detected. She stared at the screen for a long time, then whispered, he's not just a subject anymore. Outside, the stars were beginning to shine, but deep in the forest, something brighter was awakening. Something Zara's people never expected, something called hope. The rain started slow that evening, soft, quiet drops falling on rooftops and empty streets. Inside the bookstore, Alex leaned back in his chair, a warm mug of tea in his hands, a book open on his lap, but his eyes weren't on the pages. They were on the door. He had seen Zara again that morning. The way she moved, the stillness in her face, the strange glow in her eyes. She wasn't normal. But she wasn't dangerous either. At least, not yet. Something about her made him feel seen. Like she looked right through him, not to judge, but to learn. And somehow, that didn't scare him. At that exact moment, Zara stood outside the shop in the shadows, watching him through the glass. She had stood in that same spot many times now, unseen, unheard. But tonight, she was tired of hiding. The rain soaked her clothes, but she didn't care. She stepped forward and pushed the door open. A soft chime rang. Alex looked up and froze. Zara stood still, water dripping from her hair, her face calm but unsure. She looked at him like she wasn't sure if she belonged in the same room. Alex stood up, slowly, carefully. You're soaked. Zara nodded. I know. He hesitated. Would you like a towel or tea? Zara paused. I would like to sit. Alex pointed to the chair across from him. Then sit. She walked over quietly and sat, hands in her lap like a student in school. Neither of them spoke for a moment. Then Alex broke the silence. So, who are you really? Zara looked up at him. Her glowing eyes dimmed slightly. I come from far away, she said slowly, not just from another country, but another sky. Alex leaned forward. You're not joking, are you? No. You're saying you're not human? Zara didn't blink. Not fully. The room felt colder suddenly. Alex exhaled slowly, eyes still on hers. Should I be afraid of you? He asked. Zara shook her head. No, I didn't come to hurt anyone. I came to become something I've never been. What's that? She whispered, alive. Alex didn't understand at first. She looked alive. She breathed. She spoke, but something in her voice told him she didn't feel alive. Not the way humans do. Not the way people who laugh and cry and fall in love do. Over the next few weeks, Zara started spending more time at the bookstore. She read slowly, asked strange questions, What does sadness feel like? Why do people hug? Why does pain make people stronger? At first, Alex thought it was weird, but soon, it became routine. They talked about books, about dreams, about fear, about old music and the stars above. Sometimes, Alex would joke, and Zara would smile, not fully, but enough to make her eyes soften, and slowly, she started to change. She blinked more. She laughed softly. Once, when a child dropped a toy outside, she ran and picked it up before he cried. Small things, human things, and it scared her. One night she asked him, "Do you believe in souls?" Alex looked up from his cup. "Yeah, I think everyone has one. Even me?" He studied her face. "I don't know. But I believe you're looking for something. That's close enough." Zara looked down at her hands. "I was made to complete a mission. I thought creating a human child would give me a soul. But now, I'm not sure that's the only way." Alex's face changed. "Wait, that's why you came? To have a child?" Zara nodded slowly. "Yes, with you." Silenced. Alex leaned back, confused, shocked, and strangely sad. "So all this was a plan?" "At first," she admitted. "But now I don't want to use you. I want to understand you." Alex stood and walked to the window, trying to think. Zara watched him quietly, afraid he would ask her to leave, but he didn't. He turned around and said, "I don't know what this is between us, but it feels real, and I think you're becoming more human, even without the child." Zara felt a strange heat rise in her chest, a feeling she didn't have a name for. Yet. But while they grew closer, danger grew closer too. Far away, in a secret underground facility, Agent Harper reviewed the latest satellite footage. Zara's heat signal had changed. She was adapting, faster than expected, becoming more human every day. Too fast. The lab's scientists were worried. If she bonds with a human and produces offspring, one said, "We won't be able to control it. We need to stop her now." Harper nodded. "Send in the team, quietly. Bring her in alive. And if she resists?" Harper's face was hard. "Then erase her." Back in the woods, Zara stood outside, staring up at the stars. Her hands trembled slightly. Her sensors warned her, movement detected. Nearby. She turned at nothing. But something in the trees felt wrong. She walked back toward her base quickly. She didn't know it yet, but a strike team was moving in. Not just from Earth, but from her own planet too. They had discovered her emotional changes, and they didn't like it. She was no longer one of them. And that meant one thing: Zara was now a target of both worlds. The wind was sharp that night, cold, silent. Zara sat by the bookstore window, watching the empty street. The world outside felt peaceful, but inside her everything was falling apart. Her hands shook, not from fear, but from something worse. Alex returned from the back room, holding 2 mugs of hot tea. He placed one in front of her and sat across the table. She didn't touch the cup. He could tell something was wrong. "You're quiet tonight," he said softly. Zara looked up slowly, her purple eyes dim. "Alex, we need to talk." He leaned in, worried. "What is it?" She took a breath, long and shaky. "I haven't told you everything, about who I am, why I'm really here." Alex stayed silent, waiting. Zara lowered her voice. "I was created on another world. My people don't feel emotions. We have no joy, no pain, no love. But over time we started breaking, losing our will to exist." Alex nodded slightly, trying to keep up. She continued, "Then we discovered your kind, humans. You have something we don't. A soul. A deep energy that makes you alive in ways we can't explain." She looked him in the eyes. "They believe that if one of us created a child with a human, the child would carry that soul. And maybe some of it would pass to us." Alex blinked, stunned. He leaned back, confused and hurt. "So you came here to—" "What? Use me?" Breed with me? Zara nodded slowly. Yes, at first, you were selected. Alex stood up, pacing the room. His voice changed, colder now. All those times we talked, laughed. You were studying me? I was learning, she said. But something changed. I started feeling. Even now, I don't understand it fully. Alex turned sharply. Then why not tell me the truth from the start? Zara stood too, her voice shaking, because I didn't know what truth was back then. I only knew my mission, but now, I know. You, and that has changed me. They stared at each other, the air between them thick with emotion. Finally, Alex sat down, his voice calmer. I don't know what to say. Zara looked down. You don't have to say anything, but I had to tell you. Because something is coming. What do you mean? She reached into her coat and pulled out a small device. It glowed faintly, like a pulsing heart. They found me, she said. My own people, they're watching, and they don't want me to change. They believe feelings are dangerous. Alex frowned. What will they do? If they think I'm becoming too human, they'll take me, or end me. A chill ran through Alex's spine. And Earth? What about the humans watching you? Zara hesitated. Some of your people know I exist. They don't want peace. They want control. They'll hunt me too. That's why I came to you tonight. Alex narrowed his eyes. Why me? Zara stepped closer, because you're the only one I trust. For a long moment, they didn't speak. Outside, the rain started again, tapping against the windows like soft fingers. Alex looked at her face, the fear in her eyes, the humanity in her voice. He could still feel the sting of being used, but he could also see the pain in her now. Pain no machine or emotionless being could fake. She wasn't just acting human anymore. She was becoming one. Do you still want to have the child? He asked carefully. Zara didn't answer right away. Then she whispered, not for the mission. Not to create a soul. I want it now because I want to create life with someone who showed me what it means to be alive. Alex closed his eyes. This was not the life he planned. He was just a small-town man running a bookstore, living quietly. And now, he had to choose to help an alien girl escape death from two worlds, or walk away and be safe. Finally, he opened his eyes and said, if we do this, we do it together. No more lies. Zara nodded, tears in her eyes, her first. Alex gave a small smile. Then we need to get ready. Because I think your people aren't the only ones coming. He was right. Far away, inside a mountain facility, Agent Harper stood before a screen showing two blinking red dots. One was Zara. The other. Alex, are they close? Asked a soldier behind him. Harper nodded. Closer than we expected. The agent's jaw tightened. If she's bonding with a human emotionally, then the theory is true. What theory? She's not just growing a soul, she's becoming unstoppable. Back in the woods, Zara packed quickly. Small tools, hidden tech, a stolen battery cell, her communicator. Alex watched her, then asked, is there a way to talk to your people? To tell them you've changed? Zara stopped. They won't listen. Change is considered disease to them. Emotion is rebellion. Then we run? Zara looked at him. No, we protect what we're building. Alex stepped closer. Even if it puts me in danger? Zara smiled for real this time. You were in danger the moment I chose you, but you stayed. Alex reached out and gently touched her hand. Then we keep going, together. And with that, their bond was no longer a plan, it was a choice. But time was running out, and both the skies above and the ground below were watching. The night was broken by searchlights, by heavy boots, by the whir of silent helicopters above the trees, by the sound of something far more dangerous than monsters, humans hunting one of their own. Or so they believed. Zara's breath was fast, sharp, almost painful now. Her chest rose and fell. Her heart, something that once didn't exist inside her, now beating like war drums. Alex gripped her hand tightly as they ran through the woods, weaving between trees and branches. The soft green glow of her skin flickered, barely visible in the darkness, just a little more. He shouted, pulling her forward. Behind them, red lights flashed through the forest. Voices echoed, sharp, cold. Target in sight. Do not engage until the order is given. Repeat, we want the girl alive. Only hours ago, they had been sitting at the bookstore, making a plan. But the plan didn't matter anymore, because the strike team arrived early. They came with no warning. No sirens, just silence. And guns. Alex had seen them first. Black uniforms, armored vests, strange equipment that didn't look like police. He barely had time to grab Zara and run. Now, they were running for their lives. The forest was Zara's only friend now. Its wild paths and tall trees confused the humans, slowed them down. But it wouldn't last. Zara's senses buzzed with danger. Not just from behind, but from above. She stopped suddenly. Her eyes widened. She looked to the sky. No. She whispered. Alex turned. What is it? She pointed up. 3 black ships, shaped like flying knives, were silently drifting above the treetops. Not Earth ships, not government, hers, your people? Alex asked, already knowing the answer. Zara nodded. They found me too. So now they were trapped between 2 enemies. One wanted her captured. The other wanted her erased. And neither of them cared if Alex died in the process. A loud boom shook the ground. A tree exploded just 20 feet from where they stood. Fire rained down. Move! Alex yelled, dragging her with him. They tumbled down a small hill, rolled through mud and roots, and landed near a shallow stream. Zara coughed, her voice shaking. They're not here for negotiation. They think I'm broken. They'll wipe the area clean. Alex looked up, panting. So what do we do? Zara took a shaky breath. We stop running. He looked at her like she was mad. What? I have something they want. A signal core. If I destroy it, they'll lose their lock on me. But it will also alert my people to attack. Alex frowned. Won't that make things worse? Zara's eyes glowed brighter. Only if we let them win. She reached into her side bag and pulled out a small cube-shaped device. It pulsed gently, like a heart. The signal core, the key to her location. And her life. Meanwhile, not far away, Agent Harper stood with his team on a ridge. Binoculars in hand, he saw the glowing ships above the trees. Great, he muttered. Aliens too? His assistant, a young tech named Porter, looked worried. If the alien craft attack, we'll lose everything in the area. Harper narrowed his eyes. We're not letting them take her. Not the girl, not the hybrid. Hybrid? Harper didn't look at him. You really think she came to Earth alone? Back near the stream, Zara held the core over a rock. Alex stood close, tense. Once you break it, then what? Then we make our move. I've hidden something deep in the forest. A failsafe. A ship. You brought a ship? Zara nodded. It's small, fast, enough for 2. She raised the core. Wait, Alex said. If you do this, there's no going back, no hiding. No more bookstore, no more quiet life. Zara looked at him. That life ended the day I felt something. Real. She smashed the core. A wave of energy burst from the rock. The trees shook. The air vibrated. High above, the alien ships froze mid-air. Lights across their wings changed. They turned and began to descend. Alarm screamed on Agent Harper's scanner. They've gone into attack mode. Porter shouted. Harper grabbed his radio. All units, full retreat. Prepare for air assault. But it was too late. The ships didn't shoot. They didn't destroy. They landed, and from the bottom of one, a single figure stepped out. Tall, gray-skinned, wearing a metallic robe. Eyes like polished stone. Zara's handler. Zara froze when she saw him. Alex whispered, "Who is that?" "He was my creator," she said. "He made me, programmed me, controlled me. And now," Zara narrowed her eyes, "now he wants to delete me." The alien figure raised a hand and spoke in a language Alex couldn't understand. Zara responded in the same tongue, firm, angry, defiant. Alex couldn't tell what they said, but he understood the tension. Then the alien took one step forward. Zara raised her arm, and her skin glowed bright gold. Energy crackled from her fingertips. The alien froze. Zara turned to Alex. "Run to the ship. It's in the canyon. You'll see it glowing blue." Alex shook his head. "Not without you. I'll hold them off. I'm not leaving you again." Zara looked at him and smiled. "Then let's finish this together." And so they ran, one human, one becoming human, not just from the world, but toward a new one. Through fire, through metal, through betrayal and love and evolution. Behind them, the sky burned. Above them, stars watched. Ahead of them was hope. The cave was cold, silent, alive. Drops of water echoed from the stone ceiling. Blue light pulsed from the far wall, lighting the space with a soft glow. Dust floated in the air, still and slow, as if even time had paused. Zara lay on a bed of leaves and blankets Alex had gathered from the wrecked escape pod. She was still, breathing heavily. Her hands trembled. Her body flickered with faint gold light. Alex knelt beside her, holding her hand. His other hand wiped sweat from her forehead. Her skin was burning, but the fire wasn't outside. It was inside her. "Stay with me," Alex whispered. "Don't close your eyes, I'm here." Zara tried to speak but couldn't. Her voice was buried under waves of heat, pain, and something stranger. Emotion, raw, unfiltered, real. It came like a storm, guilt, joy, fear, love all at once. She had never felt like this before. Her body was changing. Her mind was changing. Something inside her had awakened. And it wasn't just the baby. 3 hours earlier, they had reached her hidden ship, a small silver craft buried in the rock, cloaked from scanners. The entrance had recognized her DNA and opened with a hiss. But the moment they stepped inside, she collapsed. Alex had caught her before she hit the floor. Now she was in her final stage of evolution, something her kind had never seen before, something her creators had never planned. In her mind, Zara was floating through memories, some hers, some borrowed. She saw Alex's smile, the sound of rain on glass, the way her chest felt warm the first time he made her laugh. She saw herself in the mirror weeks ago, cold eyes, stiff skin, a machine in a human shell. Her eyes were glassy. Her skin had color. Her tears were real. Zara was no longer just learning to be human. She was becoming one. Alex sat by her side and watched her glow. Not with power, but with something deeper, emotion, meaning, life. "She's burning up," he whispered. He looked around the cave ship for help. Monitors blinked red. The ship's AI, in her language, kept repeating one phrase: emotional overload, subject unstable, biological fusion in progress. Alex didn't know what it meant, but he could see it. She was evolving, faster than nature allowed. And inside her, the child was growing. Not just a baby, something new. Far above Earth, in orbit. Zara's creators watched in silence from their massive mothership. A tall alien leader stood before a display showing Zara's vital signs. "Her transformation is almost complete," the assistant said. "The human contamination has advanced. Her beyond projection." The leader's face remained still. "She's no longer one of us. What do we do?" A long pause. Then the leader turned slowly. "If she gives birth, the soul will no longer belong to her alone. It will be passed on, It could spread. To the humans, to everything. The assistant's voice trembled. Then what's the order? The alien leader stepped forward, pressing a hand on the control panel. Destroy the planet before she delivers. Back on Earth, in a secret government control room, Agent Harper stared at the same signals. Her vitals are peaking. The tech officer said, "She's not just carrying an alien baby. She's becoming something else." Harper's voice was low. "She's proof that evolution isn't just physical. It's emotional, philosophical." He turned to the other agents. "We were wrong. She didn't come to invade, she came to become." One officer whispered, "What now?" Harper stepped back from the table. "We stop fighting her, and we protect her." Meanwhile, inside the cave, Zara opened her eyes slowly. Alex leaned in. "Zara, you're awake." She nodded weakly. "I saw everything." He held her hand tighter. "What happened to you?" Tears filled her eyes. "I felt things no one on my planet has ever felt. I heard music in my dreams. I missed your voice when you were gone. I loved." Alex blinked. "You loved?" Zara nodded. "I didn't know what it was at first. I thought it was just code breaking. But it's not. It's real." She placed her hand on her stomach. "And it's growing." Alex touched her cheek. "Then we protect it, whatever it is. It's part of us." Zara looked at him with soft, glowing eyes. "No," she whispered. "It's part of what comes next." Suddenly, the ship's warning lights blinked faster. The I voice returned. Orbital strike detected. 72 minutes until impact. Alex stood up, heart racing. "What did it say?" Zara's face went pale. "They're going to destroy Earth, to stop me from giving birth." He clenched his fists. "They'd kill billions, just to stop your soul from spreading?" "They're afraid of what love can do," she said. Alex looked at the stars through a crack in the cave ceiling. "Then it's time the world knows who you are." He picked up the signal transmitter from Zara's ship, the one thing strong enough to send a message beyond Earth. He turned it toward the sky and spoke directly into it. "This is Alex Walker. I'm a human, and I'm with someone who isn't. But she's not our enemy. She's our future. Her people want to erase her because she changed, because she felt, because she loved." He looked down at Zara. "And if she's not worth saving?" "Maybe none of us are." He pressed send. The signal reached satellites, military networks, civilian channels, newsrooms. Within 20 minutes, the whole world heard the message. For the first time, humans stood together, not in war, but in defense of something unknown, yet somehow more human than many had ever been. Zara sat up, trembling. Her body was changing faster now. She held her stomach. "It's almost time." Alex sat beside her, wrapping his arms around her. And somewhere, in the space between alien and human, a soul was born. Asterisk, the sky was not blue anymore. It had turned silver, stretched wide with clouds that weren't clouds, but the shadows of ships, alien and silent, hovering over every major city. People stood on rooftops, in fields, in homes, staring upward, some with fear, some with awe, and somewhere in the silence, many felt something they didn't expect. Hope. In a hidden cave deep in the forest, a cry echoed, soft, shaking, new. Not from pain, not from fear, but from life. Zara lay on her side, eyes filled with tears, her skin glowing faintly gold. Alex sat beside her, holding her tightly, arms wrapped around a small, breathing bundle, a child, half human, half alien, fully alive. Zara reached out with weak hands. Alex gently placed the baby in her arms. She looked down at the tiny face, pale with light gray skin, dark lashes, and a heartbeat that echoed like music in the silence. The baby opened its eyes. They weren't human. They weren't alien. They were something new, soft blue, glowing with warmth. Eyes that didn't just see, they felt. Zara smiled. For the first time without machines or instructions, she felt everything at once. "He has a soul," she whispered. "I can feel it." Alex wiped a tear from her cheek. "So do you. But peace never stays for long. Above the earth, on the mothership, Zara's creator, known as the Origin Commander, watched the life signs on the display. "The child has been born," the assistant said, voice shaking. The commander's face showed no emotion. Then the signal was true. Another screen lit up, showing humans worldwide preparing for the worst. "And choosing to protect the child. They've united," the assistant added. "She did what we never could." A long silence. Then, the Origin Commander gave the final order. "Prepare the planetary erasure weapon. Fire on her location." Back on Earth, military satellites picked up a bright spike above the forest. A giant energy beam. Earth's defense systems lit up. Agent Harper, now leading Earth's diplomatic task force, picked up the radio. "This is Earth Command. To the alien vessel above us. If you attack the mother or child, we will respond. We do not seek war. But we will not let love be erased." He looked at the screen where Zara's image glowed, the broadcast still looping. She became more human. "Than most of us ever will," he whispered. In the cave, Zara held the child close. Her skin flickered, the last of her alien code fighting to erase the emotions now alive inside her. Alex placed a hand on her back. "You're burning up again." Zara looked at him, her voice soft. "I won't survive much longer. My body can't hold this much feeling." Alex shook his head. "You made it this far. We'll find a way." Zara leaned in, resting her forehead against his. "You gave me what I never had." "What?" "A reason to exist." She looked at the baby. "A reason to protect something. More than myself." Suddenly, the ship's alert screamed, "Orbital weapon charging. Impact in 90 seconds." Alex stood. "We need to run." Zara didn't move. Instead, she placed the child in Alex's arms. "Take him to the edge of the cave. My ship's auto-shield will protect you both. What about you?" Zara smiled, not with fear, but with peace. "I was made to carry life. Now I will protect it." Alex shook his head, tears in his eyes. "There has to be another way." "There isn't," she said, "but it's okay. I'm not afraid anymore." Outside, the silver light grew brighter, like a second sun above the trees. Birds flew, animals ran. The wind howled. The world held its breath. Alex stood just beyond the cave, inside the ship's shield bubble. He held the baby tightly, staring at the woman he had come to love. Zara stepped into the open, hair blowing in the wind, her body glowing gold from within. She looked up at the sky. "You built me to be empty," she said to the stars. "But I filled myself." The light in the sky cracked. A beam fell toward the earth. Fast, loud. Final. Zara raised her arms. And then, everything exploded in light. For a moment, the whole world went white. No sound. No sky. Just silence. Then, slowly, the light faded, and she was gone. No body. No dust. Only a soft pulse of golden air that floated upward, like a whisper. And high above Earth, the alien mothership's weapons failed, shut down by a code they didn't understand. Love. Zara had sacrificed herself. Not with a weapon, not with hate, but with something her people could never defeat. Humanity. The next day, the ships disappeared from Earth's sky. Quiet, without war, without another shot, because they had seen something impossible. They saw one of their own choose to be more than what she was created for. Months later, the world changed. Borders softened. Wars paused. People remembered the story of the alien girl who came to take a soul, and instead gave hers. And in a small town, in a quiet bookstore, rebuilt with new windows and brighter lights, a man read to his son every night. His son, born of two worlds. His son, with glowing blue eyes and a laugh that made flowers bloom faster. Sometimes, when they walked through the woods, the boy would look up at the stars and say, "She's watching us, isn't she?" And Alex would smile, holding his hand, always. Because heroes don't always wear capes. Sometimes they fall from the sky, lost and empty, and leave the world full of hope. She came to take a soul. She left behind a new world, and in doing so, became more human than any of us.